Hello everyone and welcome to Past the Post. This is Michael Ados and we're going to go over the very best of racing from around the world. We kick things off over in France this week, which had one of its biggest races of the year, the Group 1 Prix de Jockey Club at Chantilly, among many pattern races over the weekend. Shaping up as a wide-open renewal, it was led in the market by Camille Pissarro, a Group 1 winner last year at Longchamp as a 2-year-old. Number 15 under Ryan Moore, right there you see him flying up the rail for Aidan O'Brien, giving him his second win in the race. Owned by Coolmore, he is a son of Wooten Bassett. Godolphin's Qualificar, an 11-1 long shot, finished well under William Buick for Andre Fabre. Detain was third for Juddmonte.
It is Beaumark in front. Half a length the advantage from Trinity College running in second. 2.5 lengths away, Qualificar is in third. Camille Pissarro is hard up against the running rail in fourth position. Detain now gets the squeeze along the pink cap. Luther, Ridari a bit trapped in a pocket. Frankly Goodsen is up the running rail. Down the outside, King of Cities tries to get rolling as they work inside the final 400. Camille Pissarro trapped up in behind. Trinity College is still just in front. Qualificar and Detain. Here comes Ridari now letting loose. Camille Pissarro is trying to burrow through up the inside into the last 200. Detain, Qualificar, as in poor late Camille Pissarro. The gaps came in time down on the inside and has burst through in the hands of Ryan Moore. Camille Pissarro had to sit and wait, but it was all worthwhile. Has won the Prix du Jockey Club.
He's a very classy horse. Obviously he's a Group 1 winner of Arc Day last year. Very impressive from Christophe Rodeman. Then a great run in the Guineas behind Henry, and then to come back and do this is incredible. Difficult race to win this year. You need a horse with a lot of speed, and they have to get a 1.25 miles as well, so it's a very important race. Makes him a very important horse now, and he's the perfect big powerful black horse by Wooden Bassett, so incredible. So delighted for everybody, really.
Yeah, he's a beautiful horse, and Aidan, he's a horse that often comes from a long way off the pace. So today he had the draw number 1. He sat a little bit handier than recently. Was that because of the draw, just worrying about getting the way through?
I think so. Obviously Ryan made that decision, and he had a lovely draw, and around here it's very difficult when you're wide, and obviously he was very wide the last day. He ran in the French Guineas. He was very wide all the way, and it makes it difficult. But if you have a draw and you have class like he has, and Ryan was prepared to wait, he was no rush getting there with him, and I don't think he could have waited any longer, so, and obviously he had to ride him to get the distance because we weren't sure about it, so over the moon really.
The listed Prix La Flèche for 2-year-olds over 5 furlongs was the first of 7 pattern races on the day at Chantilly, and a serious prep for Royal Ascot's 2-year-old affairs in a couple weeks. Graft, number 1, won by a half length as the 4-1-5 fourth choice, with Christian Demiro in the saddle for Madame Soudan. Owned by Henry Givenchy and others, this one might have a big future. Super Soldier, the second choice, finished second, while well-regarded Kim Ray was another length back in third.
Heading inside the last 250. Up top, Graft has now joined Super Soldier. These two battle on from Kimmy Ray. Focus can't pick them up. It's Graft in front. Super Soldier is trying hard. Graft, though, by 3 parts of a length, half a length, lugging out but held on.
The Group 3 Prix de Gros Chêne for 3-year-olds and upward over that same 5 furlongs and a little faster time was up next, and included a competitive field, among them Carnival winner Pontos. But it was Montea, number 9, a big 29-1 shot, giving Christian Demiro 2 Group Stakes wins in a row. The length and 3/4 victory was a winner for Mario Baratti, as well as owner Gerard Auguste-Normand. As Le Passé, another big long shot at 45-1, finished second. Pontos finished up well in third with his normal front-running tactics, while the big shock was 1-2 favorite Kind of Blue, finishing last of the 9 for Wathnan.
They've gone incredibly hard here. It's Pontos in front, leading by 2 lengths from Chalpar in second. Now Pradaro pushed along. Monte, the white jacket, is getting going. Also picking up his Les Le Passa. Down the order still Toyotomi. Batwan National Service, Kind of Blue, trying to latch on. Heading inside the last 250. It's Monte and Pontos right in amongst them, staying on his Les Le Passa. But Monte has the advantage in front by 2.5 lengths. And Monte goes on to win, beating Les Le Passa in second.
Up next, we had Group 2 action. This was the Prix de Saint-Dragam for 3-year-old fillies over 8 furlongs. 8 of them went to post, including a couple invaders from the UK, but in the end, it was locally based Godspeed, getting it done under Christophe Soumillon by a length as the second choice at 7-2. Carlos and Jan Lerner trained this one for Peter Bradley, an American, and others. Eponine was a good second at 10-1, while 9-10 favorite Vadinska finished a non-threatening 5th for the Aga Khan.
It is Mimos in front then for Tony Picone, has the advantage here of 3 parts of a length from in second Eponine as they turn right-handed. Betty Clover is close behind. Tigress of Gaul now coming off the bridle as they work down to the final 500. On the fence is relaxed to the right. Here comes Godspeed improving quite strongly, but Dinska's now being pulled to the extreme right for Barcelona, has got a good 5 or 6 lengths to make up. Heading inside the last 300, Godspeed hits the front now from Eponine, then Betty Clover. Vadinska a bit buffeted around but can't get to them. It's Godspeed with Eponine rallying. Betty Clover is back in third. Godspeed though leads the way 3 parts of a length and lifts the Prix de Sandringham. Has beaten Eponine in second.
3-year-olds were up again over 6 furlongs in a listed Prix Marchand. It was supposed to be a solid place for the Christopher Soldier's Heart to get a big one, but in the end it was Rayevka getting it done for Michael Barcelona, French's Henri Graffard, and making amends for the Aga Khan. The 7-2 second choice won by 3 lengths in the end. Apollo Fountain, a 22-1 shot, finished well to be second. The winner won her second from 5 starts, and is a daughter of Blue Point.
Up top here, it's Unpature and the pink cap of Apollo Fountain, who are racing wide apart, but they're both blazing the trail inside the last 2. They're being followed by a strongly driven Soldier's Heart and Glanworth. Trying to get into it is Estepona, catching the eye, in fact, the blue and white. Also weaving through between horses is Detonate Memis. Rayevka now starting to launch a bid, is also weaving in between rivals as they work down inside the final 250 metres. Rayevka to the right has come powering through to hit the front. Rayevka goes on. In second is Apollo Fountain, and then comes Soldier's Heart and Estepona, but Rayevka is firmly on top to win the Prix Marchand d'Or. Second place went the way of Apollo Fountain.
3-year-old fillies were up again in the Group 3 Prix de Royaumont over 12 furlongs, and looked Sunly's on paper to win, and indeed she did by 2.5 lengths as the 9-10 favourite. Christophe Soumillon got his second group win of the weekend, with France's Henri Graffard getting his second as well. Judmont owns this promising sort. Andre Fabre finished second and third with Indalamus and Elegance.
Heading to the last 800 metres in the Prix de Royaumont. The leader is still Secret of Love. A length or so the advantage from Elegance in second. Rabbit's Foot is in third place with Indaliamos next in fourth. Zakharova in the stripes hard up against the running rail. Will need some gaps. Sunly is just being squeezed for a bit more. Just trying to pick it up now. Sunly down towards the right-hand side of proceedings as they head to the last 400. Secret of Love winding it up. Elegance now tries to get level. Sunly is coming in Dalimos. From the back end, Genalia, Rabbit's Foot is trying to weave through into the last 350. Elegance and Sunly. Sunly took a while to get rolling, but now she's striding forwards. Sunly hits the front under Soumillon and is powering away. Sunly is going to be 3 out of 3. Sparkling from Sunly. Beats into second in Dalimos. Elegance was third.
And the last group race of the big day at Chantilly was the Group 2 Grand Prix de Chantilly over 12 furlongs for older horses. It only drew 4 horses, including dual Dubai World Cup night alum Junko, a winner of the Chatin Vase a couple years ago. Arrow Eagle, the favourite, won by a short head here under Christian de Miro, giving him his third stakes win of the day as the 6-5 favourite. Jean-Claude Rouget trains this one for Mrs. Walteros Banner. Zabayan finished well for second for the Aga Khan, while Junko finished third, and Longshot Mont de Soleil rounded out the 4.
Round the turn they come. Top of the straight now, Sibayan, who was ridden to get the lead early, continues to have the advantage here as they work down towards the final couple of furlongs in the Grand Prix de Chantilly. It's Sibayan with Junko now ranging up to within half a length. Arrow Eagle is right there as well, and here now comes Mont du Soleil heading to the last 200 metres. It's almost 4 in a line. Sibayan, Junko, Arrow Eagle. Mont du Soleil tries to get them. Arrow Eagle fighting on past Sibayan, Junko. Sibayan and Arrow Eagle. Junko coming again. It's going to be very tight. Arrow Eagle and Sibayan flash past together. Maybe that way round.
And the last of the French action, we go back to Thursday over at Lyon d'Angers, where we saw a race named after the great Sea the Stars and Galileo's Dam Urban Sea, the listed pre-Urban Sea, over 10 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Rose Jaipur eked out this one by a neck as a 10-1 long shot for Dorian Provost and Henri-François Devin. Saxon Girl finished second with a Godolphin's 5-2 favourite, Galaxy Vega, failing to factor non-placed.
Going for home was Lope de Lillas in front but under pressure. She's in front, coming through is Saxon Girl toward the inside. Down the centre of the track is Brodeur with a strong run. Also Rose Jaipur right up on the inside. Three-way go. And taking the lead, Rose Jaipur hard up against the inside and has won it.
Let's head over to the UK at Sandown on Thursday afternoon, which had some pattern affairs of its own. Kicking things off with the listed national stakes over 5 furlongs for the 2-year-olds. This was a clash between Sheikh Rashid Dalmouk's Clear Force and Irish Invader First Legion, but neither would get it done, as 25-1 Longshot and Thalia won by a length. Ridden by Lewis Edmonds and trained by Rod Millman, the winner wore the silks of Midland Park Racing. First Legion finished second, with favourite Clear Force finishing fourth of 7 runners.
Racing on towards the halfway stage, Clear Force on the near side of Karma Chameleon, Eskimo Pie on that running rail. First Legion just tacking on to the back of these. They're followed by Anthelia, Sayadar Hardspun and Alcool Warrior. An open race, Eskimo Pie is finding plenty against that far rail. Karma Chameleon, Landfall, Clear Force, all under pressure. First Legion with a run down the outside, and then Anthelia now getting up the fence inside the final furlong. Eskimo Pie drifts off the fence. Anthelia getting through far side. Here's First Legion with the run down the outside. It's Anthelia from First Legion as they race up towards the line, and Anthelia makes it 3 from 3.
The second pattern race of the afternoon was the Group 3 Henry II Stakes over 2 miles for 4-year-olds and upward. This was a small field full of big talent, as Dubai Gold Cup alums Trollerman and Coltrane seemed to factor the most, and indeed they did, finishing first and second. But it was Trollerman's all day, with a 5-length victory as the 4-5 favourite under William Buick for John and Thady Gosden. The Godolphin runner will now go on to the Ascot Gold Cup in a few weeks. Coltrane finished second, with Carnival winner Al Nair finishing third.
Trollman leads the way from Burdett Road, and it looks like William Buick is just trying to lift the pace now from Burdett Road. Then Coltrane on the inside. Al Nair is asked to get a little bit closer on the outside as they head on now towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Trollman being woken up from Burdett Road. Coltrane locked against the fence behind these, and Al Nair on the outside just running around a little bit as they really meet the rising ground and approach the last furlong and a half, and Trollman has a lead of a couple of lengths over Coltrane second. Burdett Road has weakened. Al Nair struggling to make any impression in third place now, but Trollman is absolutely relentless here in front and drawing clear of Coltrane and getting a round of applause from the crowd. This fine stayer, Trollman. Next stop, Royal Ascot. Trollman wins from Coltrane in second. Al Nair.
He's come back from Dubai in great shape, and John and Thady said he was spot on today, and he was. He's just a real happy well horse, and he loves bowling along like he did here today, and fingers crossed it will set him up for another crack at the Gold Cup.
Do you think he's got a shot? Second last year, has he got a shot? Is he as good?
Well, he put it to Kyprios last year, and Kyprios has been retired, and we all know Kyprios, he's the champion stayer, so Trollman, I think he's the only horse who's actually beaten Kyprios the last couple of years, and Frankie rode him in the champion stayers, so we know how good he is, and he was there right to the line in the Gold Cup last year, so fingers crossed we can go one better.
The big race on the day at Sandown was the Group 3 Brigadier Gerard Stakes over 10 furlongs for 4-year-olds and upwards. It was the highly anticipated return for Godolphin's Group 2 winner Ombudsman, but he would be beaten out by His Highness Sheikh Ahmed's Al Maqam by a length and 3/4. The 7-4 second choice was ridden by Oisin Murphy for Ed Walker. His Highness Sheikh Ahmed got his gold and black silks across the wire first. Victorious Racing's Phantom Flight finished third, while Charlie Appleby's Military Order in the Godolphin Silks finished fourth.
So turning right-handed and on their way towards home, and when they swing up the home straight they'll have just under 4 furlongs to cover, and it's Al McCam who's made it all so far in the yellow jacket. From Military Order, White Cap in second, Phantom Flight is third, parked on the rail, followed then by Ombudsman, then Emphajar and Cicero's Gift, and Alpha at the back of the field as they race up the home straight, about to pass the 3 furlong marker, and still it's Oshie Murphy on Al McCann. Just ridden along, woken up a bit is Military Order, Phantom Flight on the inside, Ombudsman out wide, coming there now under Ryan Moore in that red cap, followed by Cicero's Gift and Emphajar. It's still Al McCam. Here comes Ombudsman, looking a big threat on the outside, inside the final 2. Al McCam got a real fight on here. Ombudsman is attacking. It's Al McCam just from Ombudsman. They're kicking away from the others as they race on up the hill. Al McCam is holding on from Ombudsman. Ombudsman staring his first defeat here in the face, and Al McCam will not be passed and wins the Brigadier Gerard. Al McCam wins.
Really nice, Ed. He's very, Ed's comments were he's very relaxed and easy to ride. I loved his temperament, and he's run to a high level. Ombudsman is a fair benchmark.
And was it always the intention to get out there and to try and dominate?
I didn't discuss it with Ed, but I had a good think about it when Bolster came out and when Ancient Wisdom came out. Thought I might be able to lead, and I was able to sort of dictate without slowing down too much.
And in terms of the ground preference, Ed's always said he didn't want the ground too quick for him. What do you feel, having ridden him today?
No, Ed's right. There's loads of juice on the ground today. That's probably key. He's a big horse with big feet, and he has a bright future, provided he continues to get his conditions.
The last of the Thursday pattern action at Sandown was the listed Heron Stakes for 3-year-olds over 8 furlongs, and saw a little bit of class relief for Charlie Appleby's Opera Bello, while Victorious Racing's streaking Bay City Roller looked to be in the way of him. But in the end, Opera Bello was simply too good, winning by 2.5 lengths as the 5-4 favorite. William Buick got it done for Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. Bay City Roller held on for second. It was an excellent comeback for the son of Gayeth after his 6th and disappointing run in the Craven.
So, swinging the right-hander, Matori Bay leads the way. So, Hailstar on the outside, Nebraska in a good position in third. Opera Ballo, the favourite, in fourth place. Jackknife, Bay City Roller, and finally Pelletry into the home straight. And so Hailstar kept wide here. Far side next to the rail is Matori Bay, Nebraska. And now here's Opera Ballo. Well, he's very keen early on. What will he have left? Behind the leaders, Jackknife moving up quite promisingly on the inside. Will need an out. Bay City Roller improving as well, and down the outside is Pelletry now. Pelletry coming into it as they race on inside the final furlong and a half. Pelletry out wide, Opera Ballo, Bay City Roller between them, then Matori Bay. Opera Ballo is finding a bit now as they race inside the final furlong. Pelletry sticking to the task, but Opera Ballo looks too good and clears away by a couple of lengths. Bay City Roller for late gains, but Opera Ballo too good for them and wins the Heron. Bay City Roller in second, Jackknife in third.
On Saturday in the UK, we go over to Haydock for the listed Achilles Stakes for 3-year-olds and upwards over 5 furlongs. A well-matched batch of sprinters were up in here, led by the useful No Half Measures, but in the end, Balmoral Lady won by a half length as the second choice at 11-2 for Paul Mulrennan in the saddle, and Ed Walker getting another victory on the weekend. Lawrence Bellman owns the winner, while No Half Measures finished second. Chasseur, who got a lot of late support and went off as the slight 5-2 favorite, checked in 6th of 8.
Democracy Dilemma under the fence in front with a furlong and a half to go. To the grade just saw Balmoral Lady, yellow cap, still looking for an out, nowhere to go. No Half Measures, orange cap has a chance. Democracy Dilemma, no Half Measures. Now Balmoral Lady finds daylight, powering through against the rail. She needed a charm run, she got one. Balmoral Lady, well back, got the job done over No Half Measures.
The Group 3 Lester Piggott Filly Stakes followed for 4-year-olds and up fillies and mares over 12 furlongs, and seemed to be a matchup of Godolphin's Beautiful Love and Cheveley Park's Estrange, but Cheveley Park's Estrange would not be defeated and won well by 4 1/4 lengths as the 13-8 second choice under Danny Tudhope. David O'Meara trains this one for the aforementioned Cheveley Park. Shaha, the 11-8 slight favorite, finished second, while Beautiful Love disappointed again, finishing 4th after weakening late.
still Our Golden One, who clings to that far rail, has the lead. Bayer Sanibel's ridden along. Chorus now making ground, and the beige and blue pokes the nose into second. Wide Invisible Friend, one from the left, Shahar getting closer, and further left Estrange is beginning to breeze into it. Beautiful Love in the raw blue meanwhile is ridden along as Chorus now moves through, passing the two, attacking Our Golden One. Shahar and Estrange are still closing in right down the middle of the track, and then Beautiful Love on down towards the last furlong, and Estrange has come storming through to grab the lead, and this grey filly, powerful looking individual, is beginning to stretch on here. Shahar is chasing, but he's now chasing shadows, and it's Estrange for an emphatic success in the Leicester Piggott Fillies Stakes. Shahar second, Chorus back in third.
The Group 3 John of Gaunt Stakes followed for 4-year-olds and up over 7 furlongs. There was a return of Group 1 winner Audience after a disappointing run in the Alcala Sprint. And he would disappoint yet again, as this time third choice 10 Bob Tony got it done by a head with William Buick in the saddle for yet again Ed Walker, a third stakes victory of the week for him. TBT Racing owns the victor. Multiple Group 1 winner Kinross finished second, while Audience, the 15-8 favourite, could do no better than 7th.
Moving on down now towards the last 2.5 furlongs. Quinault, green sleeves and cap, challenged by Volterra right down the centre in the spots. Audience away to the left, ridden along. One from the left, Ali and Arby, the striped cap. On the right, the white-faced 10 Bob Tony. Kinross in the purple and white is moving through. Under the rail on the left, Kikuli, pink cap and Room Service are running on. Inside the furlong, a lot of chances. 10 Bob Tony. Here comes Kinross, though, moving through to challenge. Right down the near side, Room Service, and then Volterra. 10 Bob Tony and Kinross fighting this out. 10 Bob Tony, what a day for Ed Walker.
We head up to York on that Saturday afternoon for the Bronte Cup, over 14 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. This looked a solid chance for Term of Endearment to pick up another stakes win, but Scenic in the end, flying on the outside for Preakness-bound Safi Osborne, got it done by a head at the wire. The 7-2 second choice gave Ed Walker a 4th stakes victory on the weekend. David Warden owns the winner. Term of Endearment, the 65 favourite, held on well for second, while George Strawbridge and the Gosdens finished back in third.
And they now head down to the final 3 furlongs. It is Term of Endearment. Mark 1 shakes the reins. Here to the outside, Davina Grace looks poised to have first crack at her. Away to the left-hand side, Sueño coming into it under Ryan Moore. Pushed along in behind them, Alonzi. Jane Temple needs plenty more. Scenic is on the far outside on the left. And Crystal Fly looks beaten in rear. They're inside the final 2, and still Term of Endearment. She's had things all to herself throughout. She's now trying to fend off the late run of Scenic towards the outer, and Scenic is bridging the gap. Far side is Term of Endearment. Near side is Scenic. Just a half length between the pair. Now it's a neck. Now it's a head. Scenic is getting up towards the near side of Term of Endearment, who fights back, and it's very close at the line between them.
The only action to pick up on in Ireland this week was the Down Royal on the 30th. This was the listed His Majesty's play, over 2 miles for 4-year-olds and upward. It seemed a wide-open affair, topped in rating by Gordon Elliott's 104-rated Samui. But Goody Two Shoes, the slight favourite at 3-1 over Samui, proved the public right, winning by a length and a half under Dylan McMonagle for Joseph O'Brien and John McManus. La Isla Mujeres was second, while Samui weakened in the final quarter mile to finish 5th of 8.
Duraji now coming under a drive as in the centre Dallas Star and Goody Two Shoes go on. Trying to cover the move is La Isla Mujeres as they corner now with a furlong and a half to go, and Goody Two Shoes has seized the initiative now from La Isla Mujeres, who goes second. Back in third is Dallas Star inside the furlong pole. It's Goody Two Shoes the leader, pressed now by La Isla Mujeres. These two fillies settling down to fight it out. Goody Two Shoes from La Isla Mujeres, and Goody Two Shoes is going to give Joseph O'Brien another winner in the race.
And the last stakes that we'll cover this week is the Group 2 Grosser Price Von Tattersall's for 4-year-olds and upward at Baden-Baden over 11 furlongs. This appeared a nice clash between favourites Wilco and Lordano in the market, but the latter, Lordano, number 1 as you see, wins by a head as the 7-2 second choice for Leon Wolf in the saddle and Marcel Weiss the trainer. Carrying the silks of Gertrud Ittlingen, he beat out Wilco, the 23-10 favourite. Quemados rounded out the top 3 for Andreas Waller.
with Thor Hammer Hansen, and he is there first. Trying to take the lead with in the middle of the track, Queimados on the outside. Mansour between horses. We have Rashford with nowhere to go. He lost his whip. Thor Hammer Hansen, and that's a big disadvantage. But still, he's fighting for victory with Wilco, Queimados, and between horses, the horse who's still unbeaten here on this track, Lordano, stays unbeaten.
Now let's look at what's coming up this week. It is a huge weekend of action on each side of the Atlantic, including the Belmont Stakes Festival on Saturday, which also has stakes races on Thursday and Friday, but most of the action we will see will come from Saturday. We also have, of course, the Derby Festo, which has the Epsom Derby on Saturday, the Oaks on Sunday, and the Coronation Cup kicks things off on Friday. We thank you for tuning in and hope to see you here next week on Past the Post. My name is Michael Adolphson, and may all your photo finishes be winning ones.